My name is Nick Troiano. I'm the executive director of Unite Colorado, which until today was known as the Colorado Centrist Project. And like I said, I'm really proud and excited to welcome all of you to the Denver Press Club for the launch of Unite Colorado and the release of our Declaration of Independence. And also want to welcome many people tuning in via Facebook Live. First, I want to recognize many great supporters who are in the room, including members of the steering committee for Unite Colorado. You'll hear from former Representative Kathleen Curry and former Senator Al White in a moment, but former Senator Gene White is here, as well as Zach Smith, who's the president of Bristlecone Construction. They've been tremendous supporters of the cause since early on. And want to welcome the many volunteers and small donors who've joined us here this morning, and soon to be volunteers and small donors, hopefully, who are here too. Today we're going to be discussing both the need and the opportunity for independent leadership here in Colorado at this important time. And we're going to hear from some extraordinary leaders who are helping to pave a new path forward in our politics. From the only state representative who's served as an independent in the legislature to the newest state legislature to serve as an independent, who begins her first day of session tomorrow, Senator Sherry John, who recently unaffiliated. And we're going to hear from some leaders of the Unite Colorado movement who just threw their hats in the ring yesterday as independent candidates for state legislature. So excited to have them. So let me say this at the start about Jay and Miley and Eric and Steve, is that they are the true pioneers of this movement. It takes a lot of courage to step forward and put your name on the ballot, and that's what they're going to do. And so we're so excited that we crossed paths with them, that they're part of the slate. We're here to celebrate them, and we're excited about the campaigns that they're going to run. So as many of you are aware, tomorrow is the first day of the new session of the state legislature. And you're going to hear a lot of platitudes likely coming out of the Capitol tomorrow. How many issues are on the agenda, how closely people are going to work together, how much they're going to get done this session. And sadly, based on recent history, it's going to be a lot of talk. Because the last time this legislature convened, may I remind you, was in a special session. And they convened to address a simple drafting error in a piece of legislation that everyone recognized was a mistake, and everyone agreed what should have been in its place, but they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get together and fix a simple drafting error, and instead had a petty argument about whether a special session should have been called in the first place. We can debate how we got here to this point of dysfunction and gridlock, but one thing is not debatable, which is that it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to divide ourselves into warring tribes and approach governance as a zero-sum game where the only way to win is to make sure the other side is defeated. In fact, we can restore the kind of civility and cooperation and problem solving that used to be the case here in Colorado. And that is what Unite Colorado is really all about. While there are many forces tearing us apart, we want to be a force that brings people together in common purpose to serve the common good with leadership that is committed to finding common ground. And we're going to do that by recruiting and supporting and electing common sense independent candidates who, as the Declaration of Independence says as a core tenet, are committed to putting we the people before the party bosses and the special interests. And for the first time, our movement is building the grassroots network and the donor community and the electoral infrastructure to help level the playing field with both parties so that we can empower truly extraordinary leaders to run for office and to serve in office as true independents. People who can bridge the partisan divide, people who can champion new ideas, and people who can serve all of their constituents rather than just the base of one particular political party. So to the parties, we say this: we're not here to fight you. In fact, our whole movement is here to work with you. What we are against is mindless partisanship. What we are against is the corrupting influence of special interests. And that is what we're out to defeat. And that is why we're giving voters a third option, both in this election and in election cycles to come, reminding them that no one owns their vote and that the only so-called wasted vote is one for a status quo that is clearly failing the people and the state. So the need is apparent, the opportunity is growing, and the time is now for new leadership that can take us in a new direction